Hey there! I'm going to show you today how I recycle my clay. So first I need just a bucket for that, and I have to get my clay trimmings. So let's get this. In case you didn't know already, the clay that is not bisqued, like things that I have left over from trimmings and stuff like that, that's bone dry, that can still break, that can all be recycled. So I like to get mine all bone dry just so it's all the same consistency, and then I break that apart into a bucket. So I'm going to get all those bone dry pieces in the bucket now. So as you saw, I broke apart the larger pieces that I could with my hands to help quicken the process, but really I'm going to let this sit for about 24 hours and let the water do its work. So then tomorrow morning I'll come and break apart that other piece a little bit more and make sure it's all the same consistency, but for now we got to let it rest. So see you tomorrow. Alright, so this sat overnight and we're in tomorrow, and this is, you know, really softened up. So the water did its job, and now it's just time to go through it and mix up any pieces that are still in chunks to make them a little bit more homogeneous, to be in a slurry. And then after that, I'm going to dump it and sort of skim off the excess water to make sure that we have, you know, a clay in a sludge sort of form, so then it can be put onto a plaster vat. So I'm going to squish it up now and then pour it out. So now that the bucket's now empty, it's on the plaster vat, and that's going to help it dry over the next few days. So I'll be able to tell that it's ready to be flipped over once the bottom has hardened enough to maintain its own structure, so I can flip it over and then have the other side of it dry. And all of that depends on what the temperature is. So I'm going to play by ear each day to see when it's ready to be flipped, and then once it's ready to be wedged all together as a new piece of clay. Alright, so this consistency now is really good for wedging. So it's all finished drying up, the plaster did its job, and it's ready to take off. But if you noticed before, I had that metal rib and I was scraping the clay. That was because there was little bits of plaster from the bat that came off. That doesn't always happen, but sometimes that does. And when that is happening to your clay, it's really important to take off, because if plaster stays in your clay and you put it in the kiln, then it could explode because of all the moisture that it collects in drying processes like this. So definitely don't want it in your clay. So let's wedge it up.